start this Division 2 season. For the 7th season of SLR. Here we go then. 3, 4, 5 sets of lights. And we are underway for the start of the Division 2 season. It looks as though the Alpine of Jax had a very good launch. He's already trying to pull alongside the Alfa Romeo down into turn 1. He's going to have the outside line though. Massey on the inside. They're going to be 3 wide just about. But Jack Mull later on the brakes just about pulls away. Jack then looks to have the better though of Massey. He's into P2. And now he's challenging down into turn number 4. It's going to be Jack on the inside. Jack Mull on the outside. It's Jack v Jack. It's the Alpine versus the Alpha, and the Alpine comes out on top, and now Massey is going to try and capitalise on Jack Mull going wide. We've got yellow flags already, and Aston Martin round on the exit turn 4. That is Barlow. Evo as well has had some sort of incident off the start because he's dropped down the field. We've got Ferrari now. That's OG James. He's spun at turn 6. Tooman up into 4th has had a fantastic start. Acid's down a couple. Chiara up a whole bunch as well, like 6 I think already on those mediums, with Leo the only driver on the mediums ahead of the McLaren. So a fantastic start from those drivers. Jack Mull already nearly a second behind SLR Jack, who's had a fantastic start from 3rd on the grid.
Yeah, I think all those incidents, Barlow, Evo and James.
Oh, we got a car round. It's Jack.
Oh, and
the Alpine
spun as well
at turn 12. Just on the exit of 12, Jack has spun and Chiara is out, and there's a big incident by the looks of things at turn 13. We've got a VSC, Lofty's got a 5-second penalty, Hicklin's got a 5-second penalty, and it's all kicked off. A fantastic start from Jack, unravelled in a matter of moments as he loses the car through turn 12. Chiara as well, Chiara is out, Jack has just about gotten away with it. A VSC now has come out. So Jack Mull retakes the lead, Massey retakes 2nd, and Tooman with a fantastic start now is up to 3rd place. We've got 3 cars into the pits already. That's Igor, Hicklin and Evo. But wow, what a start. Someone as well getting a 5-second speeding into the pits. What a hectic first lap. We kind of called it. And it came to us straight away. And Tooman's now got 5-second for a collision with Massey. I don't know what happened there under the VSC, but something obviously occurred now. And we got Tooman and Massey going side by side through turn 8. Massey on the inside, Tooman on the outside. Massey just about holding on to P2 for now, but Tooman really hounding the back of that Williams, perhaps fired up a little bit after that incident that saw Tooman take a 5-second penalty, and Dolphin outbraking himself slightly down into turn 10, and now Zach is going to try it down the inside. Is he into 11? He looks to have the move done. He's got the inside line. He's slightly ahead into the corner. Dolphin going to try and get the switch back, but Zach gets it done. So Zach up into 4th. Blaze now on the back of Dolphin, looking for a move into 13. Not close enough, not really a place to make a move either, but the Alpine driver as well, up a few off the start. Obviously, he's gained from the unfortunate incident with which saw his teammate drop down the order. Tooman then trying to push Massey, who's trying to claw back some time to Jack Mull, because really that battling between Tooman and Massey has helped Jack Mull pull out a 1.3 second lead now as they head down the main straight. Start lap 3. We've got an Alpine down the inside. It's Dolphin having to defend from Drastic Plays there, he's looking really feisty these opening laps, and he's going to have the DRS, and he's got a fantastic run out of turn 3 with Dolphin trying to give him the squeeze. He's going to have the inside for 4. Dolphin trying to hold it around the outside, but the Alpine has the inside line. He's got the move done, so Blaze up into P5 there with a fantastic bit of racing between the two of them, getting the elbows up, but it was clean. But it was, you know, you could tell that they were really going for it. And Dolphin getting so close to the back there of Blaze. And we got another one at turn 8. It's Legend in the Mercedes. Another one, oh, sorry, just before turn 8, the exit turn 7. Another victim then. That's a yellow flag. Probably should be a safety car. I'm not sure we're getting one though, because of how soon we just had a VSC. But yeah, another victim then for turn 8. So we've seen 2 drivers already out. A lot more spinning, and we got another one. We got a halo there spinning out of turn 10, so that's more yellow flags for us to contend with. Zach is Beast now in 4th in the Red Bull. He's trying to get himself involved with this battle for 2nd, and Massey has done very well, James, it has to be said, because he's gotten within DRS range of Jack Mull, so he's pulled about half a second down to the Alfa Romeo there. But yeah, Zach is Beast and Tooman really pushing on Zach is beast there with the fastest lap of the race, so he's showing some very strong pace in these opening exchanges.
Oh, I'm loving it. The timings were messed up on my screen. They're now completely fixed. But yeah, this is what Div 2 is all about. A crazy start to the race. And I think, to be honest, I mean, it wasn't really much anything that the guys could do about that incident. There was the McLaren of Chiara in the middle of the track. They all tried to avoid it. I think Hicklin and Evo and Igor all just were a bit unlucky there to get caught up in it, trying to avoid the stricken McLaren. But I think on the whole, fantastic start to the race, battles all over the place. And yeah, we've got a real fight for the lead starting to form behind Jackmore now, which is gonna keep us invested for quite a while, hopefully till the end of the race.
Yeah, we've got Barlow, sorry James, going for the move on Lofty out of turn 8. Lofty had a very poor run out of turn 8. Barlow getting the move done then up into 9th for the Aston Martin driver. And I tell you what, this is the racing, this is the action that we have been missing oh so much in the off season. And what a way Div 2 really has thrown us straight in at the deep end. And it's Halo having an absolute nightmare of a time. He's spun again by the looks of things out of 8. But yeah, this is what we've been missing. This is what we were hoping for when we got into the racing, got into the action. It's feisty, but it's fair. Massey then can, I think this is going to be pretty easy for him by the looks of things, on Jackmore. Got the move done before the braking zone, but Jackmore late on the brakes. He's trying to come back at the Williams here. There's a little bit of rough and tumble through the first couple of corners. We go to Tooman then. He's got a very nice run out of turn 3, and he's going to go down the inside of Jackmore. Jackmore losing 2 positions.
Here comes Zach as well.
In 4 corners, and Zach as well. Opportunistic, but a fantastic move from Zach to take P3. So Jackmore from 1st to 4th in 4 corners. He's trying to look back at Zach already though, down the inside at 8. Not quite close enough. Zach saying, not today mate. I'm not losing that P3 that I've just taken off you anytime soon. So Zach then up to 3rd. Zach and Tooman, fantastic starts from the pair of them. I gave Chiara the curse by saying that they'd had a fantastic start and they spun a moment or two after. But Tooman and Zach looking okay for now, touch wood. Tooman as well, only a few tenths behind Massey. He's looking really quick, James, especially, well, he's looking quick in quali, but especially in the race. Whoa, these opening exchanges. Tooman's looking quick, and of course, Zach now spins just before turn 13. And Barlow's gone, and Barlow is out. So Barlow's spun completely. He's hit the wall. He's out of the race. Alpin looks like he's disconnected. Barlow there, you can see the stricken Aston Martin in the wall, and we have our first safety car of the Division 2 season. And this is, well, to be honest, I can't say I'm disappointed because it gives me a chance for a breather, but I am disappointed for Barlow because that is such a shame. What a way to bow out of your first race of the season on the new game. I think Alpha's disconnected, to be honest, James, but I don't know for sure. We've got Menz and Lofty carrying on the mediums. Everyone else pretty much coming into the pits. I saw Jax staying out, trying to make amends for his start. I'll tell you what, interestingly enough, James, we've got Jurassic Blaze has gone for the hards, as well as Dolphin and Leah. They might be looking to go to the end here, because I don't think the mediums will get to the end from this stage of the race. Massey then takes the lead. Tooman has dropped down behind Jackmore and Blaze in the pit stop phase. So not a great stop from the Ferrari team. Fairly similar, I guess, to real life, really, because they've not been brilliant with the pit stops in the last couple of years in the real racing. So yeah, very characteristic pit stop from the Ferrari team, which has seen Tooman lose a couple of positions. Oh, he had a 5-second, of course. Yes, thank you, Sam. I forgot about that. Yeah, Tooman had the 5 seconds for that incident with Massey. That would explain it. Might have been a slow stop anyway, who knows, but yeah, that 5 seconds obviously won't have helped, so hence Tooman lost those couple of positions. So thanks for that, Sem. At least someone's on the ball. So we've lost 3 drivers already in just 6 laps here, but I tell you what, it's been far more action packed than just that. Menz then takes the race lead, but he hasn't pitted yet. In fact, if we bring up the pit stops, that's penalties. Pit stops, there we go. Massey, Jackball, Blaze, Tuman, Dolphin, Leah, Zach, Acids, James, Hicklin have all pitted once. Igor and Evo pit twice, and Halo as well with just the one pit stop. But a lot of these guys anyway are going to have to stop again. Pretty much, well, everyone in fact, apart from those on the hards, will have to stop again. And to be honest, Hicklin, 3-lap old hards, he might have to pit again as well, as we've got Jack in the pits now as well. And Halo's had another spin, James. Even behind a safety car, Halo unfortunately can't stop spinning. That one up at turn 12 as well. Thankfully not out of the race, so I'm not sure whether he got damage or not. Let's have a quick look. Doesn't look like he got any damage either, so yeah, thankfully didn't have anything worse. And that Sem's asking the question, James, Blaze to win. He's P6 on the hards. He's going to go to the end on those tyres. If you know that, if there's not another safety car or something that will stop him going to the end on those hards, do you think it's possible?
Yeah, I think Dolphin and Leah would have something to say about that as well, though. Got to bear in mind, Leah was actually in P7 on those medium tyres. I was before the chaos ensued.
Great start from Leah, wasn't
I was going to say he was in a really good position. Obviously, being on those mediums, probably going to do the mediums to soft strategy. But yeah, obviously that safety car has scuppered that. But he's net P3 now, really, isn't he, on those hard tyres? So yeah, he'll be definitely trying to prevent Blaze from taking the win. I'd be very.
It's going to be interesting to see. Sorry, it's going to be interesting to see, James, with the Jackman and Massey ahead of Blaze on those mediums. They've really got to try, and I think they'll be looking to get past the three ahead of them pretty quickly in order to make the most out of those mediums, because obviously, effectively, they're going to have 20 seconds or so net to gain on Blaze throughout the next 22
if they
laps.
take them to the end. So
yeah,
I mean they'll be flying on fresh softs.
Well, they'll be screaming at the end,
won't
they,
if
they don't pit.
Yeah, they'll be flying at the end on those. But I mean, having to gain 20 seconds is a big ask.
Yeah, against any driver, let alone a
When
driver
so
that was in the top 10 on the grid anyway, so
yeah.
one that was obviously pretty quick himself. So then, safety car in this lap, Jaylee Menz is going to take us on the restart then. So from one Alfa Romeo leading the race to the other, albeit with one less pit stop taken from Menz. But here we go then. Looks as though Massey has caught Alpha napping, although I think it's Alpha's AI. Having said that, still, as Lofty and Menz might be going side by side here through turn 1. Lofty trying to hang it around the outside, but Menz covers that off, and the AI of Alpha battling it out with
what a fantastic
Massey there.
move from Zach around the outside of Leah into turn 1. He has
And
got
we've
the
got more yellow
advantage
flags.
of
We've
medium
got
tyres.
Igor out off on the exit of turn 2, and there goes Drastic Blaze down the inside of Jackmal, and he's trying to get past Alpha's car as well. But that was a fantastic move from Blaze on the hard compound tyres on the restart into turn 4, down the inside of Jackmal, caught him napping. What a fantastic move from Blaze, and now Tuman as well looking to try and get past Jackmal. Little bit of argy-bargy there, elbows out between the pair of them. Jackmal's going to have the run down into 9 and 10 to keep ahead, but yeah, Tuman tapping the back of him as well on the exit, and now this might give Zach the opportunity. He's already made one move. Can he get another one done on Tuman then? He's going to try it round the outside into 11. Not quite. Tuman holds on for now as Blaze gets past Alpha's AI into P4. So we've got another car gone. We've got another car gone. It's Lofty turn 12 again. So turn 12 and turn 7 seem to be sort of death traps at the moment. Lofty on the restart, unfortunately, has spun as well. Jackmal now down the inside of Alpha's car into turn number 14. Tuman's trying to get the cutback to get him down the straight, as this AI really seems to be getting in the way on this restart as it was. And now Zach as well might fancy his chances as it gets very tasty here as they're moving all over the shop down the straight. Tuman down the inside into 4th, Zach round the outside, he takes 6th then, and now it's 3 actual drivers battling as opposed to an AI. But this is really feisty. I'm loving this. Some cracking racing going on, but Zach looking very quick, it has to be said, James, trying as much as he can to get past that Alpha. But yeah, Jackmal for the not the first time in this race, seemingly just caught out a little bit by a couple of moves being put on him.
Yeah, he's kind of been caught napping a couple of times now, hasn't he? Tsuman got left in the dust on the restart. He was in P7, I think, and just got left behind, but he's somehow managed to find himself gaining a few places.
Through the midst of all the battling,
Leah's moved up a couple as well.
Lofty's James
gone again on his fresh
just
hard.
pitted and gone, James down the inside now of Alpha.
Yeah, it was like a Verstappen-esque move from Alpha's AI on the straight. Moved across Zach, who's actually his teammate, very late on. It was very reminiscent of Spa, I think, 2017, 2018.
Yeah,
can't remember the exact year, but very, very reminiscent of that. And obviously it's the right car for the job as well. But Blaze in P3 on those hards as well, just looking at him. He's going to have a bit of a task keeping Tsuman and Jackmel behind.
To be honest, though, he doesn't really need to.
No, he can afford to let him
really
go.
Need to put much of a fight, He can't afford to lose too much time to Massey. Massey's already put 2.2 seconds on him.
He's going to DRS speaking of other guys on the medium, so.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of Massey as well, James, he's got the DRS now as it's been reactivated. And he's going to look, I think, to try and have a go at Menz as he's down into 4. I'll tell you what, Menz looks like he's got some pretty nice straight line speed because Massey didn't really close in that much. Definitely less than I thought he would. Down into 4. So not on this occasion then for Massey, but I think it's only a matter of time before he takes the lead. Blaze then is definitely starting to form a little bit of a queue behind him. Albeit, you know, that one step harder compound of tyres is definitely going to be a factor in that. It's Tooman, Jackmel and Zach who have really been inseparable for the first sort of 10 laps or so of the race, apart from behind that safety car where they all kind of lost out in the pits and so on. As we've got a bit of battling going on behind.
AI causing absolute havoc. Igor just smacked the back of Evo, spun and Jack's unfortunately inside. Now Acids is getting involved. This is turning into a bit of a mess behind this
Acids as well, I think, in
AI car. Yeah, I think Acids might be back in potentially.
Oh, as Evo hits the back of Igor as well into 11, and Halo now looking to capitalise on that and get past Igor, which he does. Yeah, this is getting a bit messy. Jack then has managed to work his way back up to 12th. We'll go though to Massey, if I can find him. There we are.
That's the problem when ghosting's not on. You've really got to be careful getting past these AI cards. But,
Men's covering the inside. Brakes pretty much at the same point as Massey, trying to go through turn 2 side by side. Massey didn't look to be that confident in doing so, and backed out of the move, and he's going to have a look now. Is he into turn 4? Not close enough to put a move on Menz, and this is really costing Massey, James. He just can't get past that Alfa Romeo, and Tooman has got past Blaze, but even with that getting past Blaze, sorry James, Massey's still losing time as Jackmel. There we go, we got an absolutely perfect view of that one. Another turn 7 victim as the Alfa Romeo spun and careered into the barriers. A big impact there for the Alfa Romeo driver. Again, probably should be a safety car, but I don't think we'll get one due to how recently we got one just a few moments ago. But yeah, that's kind of first-hand view of just how easy it is to lose the car there on the exit of turn 7. Blaze seems to be struggling with a bit of understeer here, James. I wonder if he might have picked up some damage or something, or
probably should got a load of fuel in the car because of all these safety cars.
He's really understeery up at the top of the hill there. We'll go to Massey this time. Can he find his way past the Alfa Romeo? He's a lot closer. He's a couple of tenths at least closer than he was at that stage of the straight last lap. And Menz again trying to be late on the brakes and battle Massey into turn 1, but he can't do it this time. Massey then gets the move done and is up into the lead, but Menz might not lie down just yet as we go into 4. Menz is going to try it. Is he round the outside? He is going to try it. Not quite going to have enough though, I don't think. Massey then remains ahead, but Menz really isn't giving this up. He had another little sniff there into 7. As Zach as well now has managed to get his way past Blaze, but as long as Blaze can kind of keep in touch with these guys, he's definitely not in a bad position. He has though, however, got another hard compound runner just behind him now in the form of SLR Leah, so that could prove to be an interesting one.
Yeah, he's only 3.5 off the lead there, Harry.
Getting into the fray. Yeah, but Leah's obviously was showing some strong pace on the mediums as well at the start of the race, and most on the softs.
These two on the hards are still in the prime position, I think, without any other stoppages to this race or to the flow of the race. But yeah, I was actually going to say before the race that I was going to take a random punt on Leah to win. I can't really claim it now though because I didn't say it, but yeah, I think he was a bit unlucky to get knocked out in Q2 in qualifying. He's making amends with a fantastic drive here, and yeah, any sort of move on Blaze.
Zach on 2 sorry James.
Lead of the race.
Another fastest lap from Zach, and he's got the move done on Tooman. But
Men's coming back at Massey as well, Harry.
Yeah, Zach moved over late in the brake zone, but he was ahead of Tooman, so he's allowed to do it. But yeah, Tooman just tapping the back of him there, but seemingly no damage done. And Men's then roll reverse this time. He's going to have the inside line down into turn 4 as we've got more yellow flags up at turn 13. That's Igor again. Massey going very wide though, up the top of the hill at turn 4. And that gave Men's fairly easy passage. And all this battling, James, Massey had 2.2 seconds to place about 3 laps ago. He's now got 8 tenths to Zach, who is up into P3. He's got Tooman for pretty close comfort as well behind. And then it's less than a second and a half to Blaze as well. So Blaze and Leah looking very strong in 5th and 6th at the moment on those hard compound tyres.
They're almost worth it, just working together and no need to take any risks. They can battle it out later on when they're going to be right. They're going to have a healthy lead at the front of the race, you should think, for the last sort of 7-8 laps. But James, yeah, looking to try and make a move on these guys as quickly as possible on his medium tyres. And yeah, big
might
gap.
Be looking at a move as well on Blaze.
Big gap back to Hicklin, who has been reeled in the last few laps by Dolphin, so we could see a change of position over.
And they concertinaed up, James. Leah missed his braking point slightly, tapped the back of Blaze, and James as well missed his and hit Leah as well. But Leah is going to get the move done this time, and I think James might try and follow him through. We've got Igor again off the track at turn 3. Leah gets the move done then, but Blaze defends well from James, just about, yeah, just avoiding contact there on the exit of turn 2. I always kind of brace myself because they look so close to making some contacts, and we know how easy it is to do through there. Hicklin's working his way up through the field now. He's battling with Dolphin for P8, so he's having a pretty nice recovery as Hicklin after a couple of incidents early on. Ooh, Men's as well is doing well as Halo's spun again, unfortunately. Men's is doing well as well to hang it in there on 6-lap older tyres than Massey. Yeah, so he's doing a pretty good job, is Men's.
I thought it was a bit of a gamble, him sticking out after the first safety car.
Oh, we've got more yellow flags, or is that? Sorry, that's just Halo again.
Yeah, thinking about it though, for Men's, he is on the exact same strategy as all of these guys that pitted for the mediums behind the safety car. So
yeah,
this could get him into a good point scoring position here. It could turn out to be a pretty good call.
Yeah, and with the safety car as well, James, it's going to allow him to almost certainly go onto a set of softs towards the end of the race now, as opposed to having to do the mediums to hards. I mean, you'd imagine he'd be coming into the pits in sort of 4 or 5 laps time, something like that.
He'll have a fresh set of the softs, of course, as well.
Yeah, I was a little surprised at how many of the drivers went for the mediums under the safety car, but I guess there's probably quite a high possibility of another safety car with Igor off the track again. I think he might be trying to just get out of the way a little bit there as well. Yeah, but obviously with the high possibility of there being a safety car, as well as I guess the pace that these guys will have at the end on the softs, they're looking to obviously capitalise on that and make the most of it, as OG James has spun turn 4. Lost him a bit of time, but I think that was it. I don't think he's got any damage. No, he's alright apart from just a little bit of time loss there. Leah, since getting past Blaze, has dropped him out of DRS, so you got to say Leah's the odds-on favourite now, perhaps, and that was someone going very wide out turn 10. That's Igor. Yeah, I was slightly concerned it was one of the one of the front runners, but not to beat. And after I was singing Men's praises just a lap ago, there we go, I got hiccups, I got the burps. Men's has now unfortunately just dropped out of Massey's DRS, so that's going to give Zach a very nice opportunity to take P2, as Men's has only his battery really to defend from Zach, and Zach's going to have the DRS as well at his disposal in order to try and aid his passage into P2. So we go then with the DRS using a lot of that battery, running relatively low on the battery as well as Zach, but he's got the move looking like it's pretty comfortable. Menz is going to try and come back at him into turn 1, not close enough, and he's not done it. And Igor, unfortunately, he's called it a day, not had the best of afternoons, and yeah, he's just he's had enough of that one. So Zach then gets ahead of Menz and puts a car in between himself and Tuman, which could be crucial later on in the race. Tuman's going to have to try and get past Menz as quickly as possible, because otherwise I think Zach should be able to pull ahead of Menz and maybe even drop him out of DRS, as the field now really starting to split up. There's a few little battles going on here and there, notably Hicklin, Dolphin and Jack, who are battling over P number 8.
I've been watching that one for the last lap or so. It's really starting to heat up. Dolphin almost went right into the back of Hicklin in turn 1, and then that allowed Jack to have a run on Dolphin down into turn
Hicklin going a bit
4.
wide there, yeah.
A bit of contact between the Alpha Tauri and the Alpine, and that allowed Hicklin to escape a bit. But yeah, that mistake at turn 10 has kind of brought them all right back together again, and Dolphin looks as though he's been a little bit stuck behind the Aston Martin for a while. I've noticed he was really lifting off the throttle down the start-finish straight, just opting to stay behind him, which is a bit of an interesting tactic. Maybe trying to just save up a bit of battery to push on once he does make a move on Hicklin. But yeah, I'll keep you updated on that one as it transpires.
Yeah, Dolphin got 4 lap fresher tyres as well.
Halo's
as
gone.
Halo, he's had another spin, and this one's his
Safety
final
car.
one. Halo then is out on lap number 17. It was 16 for him though, I believe. Yeah, I mean, got a feel for Halo. Oh, clearly just couldn't get to grips with the car. Multiple spins this evening. Yeah, unfortunately out of the race and a safety car. So unfortunately for those guys on the hards, it's really kind of neutralised their strategy. Everyone now, I'd imagine, will probably pit for the softs. They should be able to go from here. Yeah, the softs, this is about when the pit window opens for them anyway, if you're doing the medium softs. And with a safety car that's going to be out for at least a couple of laps, you'd imagine that they should just be able to hop on to the softs and make it to the end now. I wouldn't be completely shocked if we saw someone go for the mediums, but I'd imagine most of these guys will be going for the softs. I'd be surprised if we didn't see anyone pit. We've got Acid and Evo onto the hards and Alpha onto the mediums, but I think those are at least 2 of those guys are AI drivers. Lofty though has gone on to the softs, and he's been able to serve that 5-second penalty as well, which is nice for Lofty.
Tell you,
so he's got that out of the way.
I'll tell you who the biggest gainer out of all of this is. Probably Menz. Took the gamble behind the first safety car, not pitting, and he's in a net P3 now. He's going to be able to go onto a fresh set of softs for the final 10 laps or so of this race. So yeah, Menz has got himself right up into contention there with a brilliant strategy call.
Yeah, he has. Definitely staying out in that safety cars really helped him out. Massey then going for the mediums, James, as is Zach. We've got Menz on the softs, Tuman on the mediums. I guess Menz had to go for the softs because otherwise it would have been the hards for him.
He's Zach in the pit.
His first stop. He has, and he's in P2. He was in P2 anyway, was he not?
No, he's in 3rd, wasn't he?
Oh, and Leah as well, James, onto the softs.
Yeah, he's in P3.
The softs. Blaze, Tuman, Dolphin, James and Jackal medium. So we've only got Hicklin, Leah and Menz on the softs, and Lofty as well down in 14.
I'm really surprised by that.
Interesting, very interesting.
Yeah, maybe just
I would have thought more would have gone for the... Well, actually, James, Massey, Zach, Blaze, Tuman, all of those guys that are on the mediums won't have had a fresh set of softs.
Yeah, that is true, that is true.
Whereas the other guys would have had fresh softs as they didn't get through to the top 10. Halo in the chat, wow, is all I can say. Yeah, got a feel for Halo, unfortunately. It's one of those, I think, as soon as you basically have one spin, you just find you can't really stop doing it, can you?
Surely you've got to fancy Menz and Leah now, though. They've got fresh softs.
Yeah, 20 races to go, though, so, you know, one bad race isn't the end of the world by any stretch. But yeah, I think you're right, James. Leo's really found himself in a nice position. He's obviously got some very strong pace. Menz as well, surprisingly, it's a better pace than maybe you would have imagined. Because where did Menz start? If we see Menz, started P11 actually. So he clearly had some decent pace anyway, just outside the top 10. But yeah, he's done really well to stick in there with the top guys, and Leah as well. We've seen what we can do on a step harder tyres, so you know he's now got the luxury and the advantage of the softer ones. So you'd imagine that Leah should be looking really at least a P2 in this race. Hicklin as well, I think in P7's got himself into a nice position, James. You know he's got 4 cars ahead of him on the mediums. And yeah, very good recovery from Hicklin. It'll be interesting to see then how everyone pans out, because I believe Acids and Alpha are still AI drivers. So we've actually, I think, only got 12 cars left in the race. Lofty and Evo both on the softs as well at the back.
I've given both of those guys multiple invites, so I'm
yeah,
not really sure what's going on with them.
It was Halo's first race with no assists as well, so there you go. You know, he's challenging himself with the no assists. We both know that it can be quite tricky, especially at a track like Bahrain. In terms of line, I don't think it's too bad, but it seems to be a track that I've always struggled in terms of traction. It seems to be quite tricky for whatever reason, and maybe that's something Halo's also been struggling with. So yeah, you'll get there, like you say. You know, just keep sticking at it, and you're only going to see improvements. I think. As everyone does. Everyone, I think, that finds themselves turning assists off, you know, they might struggle at first, but they start to see improvements as it goes along. I think prime examples of that really are going to be some of these guys, perhaps. I mean, you know, maybe found themselves at when they first started playing, you know, using quite a few of the assists, and as they start to turn them off, they find the pace, and you know that's why they start moving up the divisions and so on. Obviously, you've got the likes of like Rando, for example, started in Division 3, now in Elite. So, you know, it's not like it's impossible to get up there if you can. So yeah,
hopefully
we're gonna have a 10-lap sprint then, aren't we? To the finish. Legend in the chat seems the Mercedes don't like curbs. Well, yeah, as they do in real life, you know, tell them to stay off the curbs. Maybe for slightly different reasons as to what the 2 Mercedes drivers found tonight, but yeah, they've got on the curbs, the Mercedes guys, and unfortunately fallen victim to the killer curbs at Bahrain. So you know, we've had the Marrow Masher and the Morgan Masher and whatever it became at Australia. You know, we've got the death curbs of turns 7 and 12 here at Bahrain. So, right then, safety car in this lap. I can stop rambling to fill the void. Although, to be honest, I'm sure you'd rather just listen to the cars than me. But here we go. Tough luck, because we've got 10 more laps to do. Massey then is going to lead us off,
and he's gone
on the restart, followed by Menz. And here he goes then, trying to catch Menz. Napping, we've got Leah and Blaze with 5-second penalties for a collision. That is not the way to take a restart, guys, and it's all going to get a little bit close into turn 1, and Zach is Beast very late on the brakes, and he's going to have to defend now from Leo. He's trying to turn he's turned attack into defense, unfortunately for him, but he has stayed ahead of Leo for now. Tooman getting past Blaze as well, up into 5th, but yeah, Massey just bolted off the restart and already pulling away from Menz, despite being on the harder
Blimey, that was close for Hicklin. Made a move on Blaze and then got all out of shape on the inside curb of turn 7, not the exit curb. But yeah, did well to hold it, and he's into P6, so already making moves off the restart is the one remaining Aston Martin driver. Tooman getting so close to the back of Lear as well. I think this is going to be a pretty frantic final 10 laps, to be honest, Harry. Any of these drivers really could still win this race.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's one of those, really. 10 laps to go. These soft compound guys perhaps don't have the liberty of time as much. You know, they need to get the performance that they'll have on these tyres. They need to use it. They can't really afford to hang about. Whereas maybe some of these mediums guys can afford to be a little bit more conservative on the restart, as their tyres, you know, for the last sort of 2, 3, 4 laps maybe will be better.
Yeah.
They'll have the performance at the end. But yeah, Massey very strong off the restart. He's found himself 8/10 ahead,
used a lot of his
which is
battery
a pretty solid place to be. Yeah, that's the downside, of course. Sprightly cheering on Lofty in the chat. Yeah, Lofty up 4 already off, or 3 off the restart, up into 10th now. So Lofty as well having a good recovery from he was right down the order then, basically straight off the start after that incident. I think he was caught up in the Chiara incident. So we've got Zach then leading Leah. Leah only 3 tenths behind though, so he's really trying to push. He's got that 5-second penalty. I'd imagine maybe himself and Blaze will be looking at possibly wanting to get those removed, depending on who's deemed to be at fault. Lofty as well has just picked up a penalty. Is that a corner cutting one? I didn't quite catch it. But yeah, now Menz is starting to close in that gap to Massey, and Leah's really pushing Zach. DRS should be activated next lap, so they'll have it not down the main straight, but out of turn 3. They should have the help of DRS, but I'm sure Leah wouldn't mind too much getting that move done before the DRS is activated. He might have a look, I guess, down into turn 1, although the disadvantage to that, of course, is he could hand Zach the DRS out of turns 2 and 3. Menz as well really pushing Massey, and Menz did seem to have pretty good straight line speed earlier, didn't he, James?
Yeah, I've just seen once again Leah getting right on the back of Zach. I think there might have been a tiny bit of contact heading through turn 14. Leah's going to look to make a move down the start finish straight, and yeah, Menz is really close in on Massey as well, as you say, Harry. A lot more battery as well for the Alfa Romeo driver, and of course those fresh soft tyres are going to help him out a bunch as well. I think it's the
Leah
ball's
couldn't get it
definitely in
done
Menz's court.
into 1, but he's going to have a go, I think, into turn 4, is he? Menz and Leah both not able to get past the drivers ahead of them. Lofty and Jack battling it out now for P9. If we have a quick look at this, they're going side by side then into 6. Who's going to back out? It's going to be Jack on the harder tyres, mediums compared to softs. Lofty with the inside line as well, just getting that position done. So up into 9th now is Lofty. Menz then out of turn 10. Is he going to fancy his chances into 11? Looks like he might have a little go here. He's having a look. Not quite close enough down the inside, but has a fantastic run out of the corner there. It's carried a lot more speed than Massey. Through 12 now they go, and into 13. Menz really hounding the back of this Williams. He's all over the shop trying to look for an avenue pass. He is just staring down that gearbox of the Williams. Not into turn 14. Surely no, backs out. He's going to sacrifice turn 14 to try and have a good run out of it and get the speed down the straight. This is going to be pretty easy, I think. He's basically already passed before they get to the start finish line, saving some of that battery, which is crucial as well. Leah as well getting past Zach by the list of things. Yes, so both of them didn't do it the first time round, but the second time they were pretty easy moves then by the list of things. Hicklin as well,
beautiful switch back
into P5. So all the soft runners there getting past the mediums runners that were holding them up, as it were, just on the sort of second time of asking. So yeah, fantastic news for them, as Massey having to lift off a little bit, as he, you know, getting a bit worried, I guess, going over that curb, wanting to avoid spinning, of course. As next up then for Lofty, who's the next soft compound runner after Hicklin, is his teammate Dolphin. So maybe you'd like to think that Dolphin won't make it too difficult for his teammate, and in fact, as I've said that, maybe Dolphin did just let him go, because he lost a lot of time out of turn 10, and Lofty got the move done there into 11. So whether they did or they didn't, Lofty is up to 8th now, which is great news for him and the AlphaTauri team. Perhaps looking to maximise the points then in this first race. Massey, James, is coming right back at Menz. Just a few tenths away. He's got the DRS this time round. And I'll tell you what, I don't think Massey's giving this one up without a bit of a fight here, by the looks of things. Down into 1.
Going to make Menz work for it, that's for sure.
Out breaks the Alpha, but Menz trying to hang it round through 2. And he does, he gets the traction just out of 2. Yeah, it's Tooman coming back at Hicklin. So, yeah, these medium compound runners, they're really not giving it up easy, are they? They're giving it a good go, despite being on the harder of the 2 tyre compounds that basically everyone's on. Menz though remains ahead, and this is where he's really got to push, this middle sector. Excuse me. That's where the tyre performance will really show. In the slower speed corners, especially out of here, like turn 10 for example. Yeah, he's gained a 10th just out of that one corner. you know, you'd like to think basically just on the tyres. And now Leah's closing in on Massey as well, James. So in trying to maybe battle for that P1, he's perhaps putting himself on the back foot a little bit with Leah closing in, and Leah's dragging Zach along as well. So Zach's not giving his chance of a podium up either, trying to pull in. I think Leah's going to lose his podium probably on with that 5-second penalty, but of course the results will only be provisional. So things may all change in the stewards' room in the next couple of days, and then obviously with the results officially being released, I think on Tuesday night, if I recall. It's been such a long time since we've done it that I've forgotten. Massey then still in the DRS and men's, but yeah, Leah now really closing in. But as long as Massey's in that DRS, I think Leah's going to have a bit of a difficult time getting past the Williams, to be honest. Just given the speed that Massey's also going to be having, Leah's not really going to have that much of an advantage down the straights. And it could in some way be in men's best interest now to keep Massey at least at arm's length, you know, no closer but no further perhaps, as men's getting a little bit deep there into 10, but not really losing much from that. I think that's probably the last thing men's wants to do, isn't it, James? Getting a scrap with Leah, sorry, for the win. Speaking of Lofty as well, he's been re-overtaken by Dolphin. Not quite sure what happened there, but yeah, Dolphins got himself back into 8th, and Lofty lost seemingly a little bit of time there, so I wonder if he had a bit of a moment. But we're focusing mainly on this battle for the lead. Evo's got past Jack though for 10th, so that's the final points position. Massey then with the DRS using that battery. He's going to have another go at men's here, but look at this, he's got 6% of his battery. He's really pushing to try and keep himself in this fight for the victory here.
I think Leah's
about
to get involved
with men's
as well.
through 1, and yeah, Leah is getting involved because he's had a great run out of turn 2, and he might have a little go at men's here into turn 4. Men's trying to go defensive. Massey's trying to stop either of them from getting a toe off of him, and men's on the inside just staying ahead then. Zach's lost a lot of time out of nowhere really, but yeah, Leah now really pushing, trying to get himself involved with this battle. He's not giving up. He must feel that, well, maybe he feels that that 5-second will be taken off and he's still fighting for the win. Either way, obviously he's trying to push because he wants to get that podium on track anyway, before penalties are even given out. So, you know, Leah, got to say, really looking strong. Had some fantastic pace on the harder compounds, and really pushing now on these softs, giving it everything to try. And Massey makes a mistake out of 13, running a bit wide there. We've not really seen any time penalties for corner cutting handed out, so it shows these guys staying within the limits pretty nicely. As men's then going to look to try and re-overtake Massey, who's already got the red light flashing. That means he's under 10% on the battery, or 20%, sorry, on the battery. Men's then giving a bit of a squeeze into turn 1 to just let Massey know that he's not really wanting him to come back at him. But then out of 2 and 3, Massey with the DRS. Is he going to have a go into 4? Has a think about it. Not close enough. And Leah still, look at that, he's just waiting for his moment. He's waiting for his chance. One little mistake from either of these two, and I guarantee you Leah will pounce on it, and he'll get that move done. So yeah, with 3 laps to go now, as men's again going pretty deep into 8. These guys really can't afford to make a mistake here, James.
No, not men's, Leah. Yeah, a lot of battery still. So
this is his first no traction race actually, James.
If you can make a move on Massey, you've got to fancy Leah to be all over the back of men's. Going to be 2 laps to go, and it's going to be men's leading the way without any sort of mistakes in this final sector. I think Leah unfortunately going to lose a podium, at least on track at the end here, because of that penalty. At worst he's going to get P4, which I'm sure he'll be pretty pleased with starting outside the top 10, as that is Blaze, I think, has gone.
Is it Blaze? It's Jack, I think, is it?
Oh yeah, sorry,
Yeah, it's Jack.
Blaze
It's
and
Jack,
Hicklin
yeah.
battling it out into turn 14. Blaze gone up the inside,
What am I doing?
and he's gonna... Ooh, neither of them got DRS.
Massey going back for the lead. Sorry, James. Round the outside. He's trying it into 1. He's going to have the inside for 2. Men's looking to get the switchback out of 3. And he's got the DRS. Massey going defensive almost instantly here. Trying to squeeze Men's, who forces his way to the inside for the corner. And they both run wide. And is this Leah's chance? Not quite. Had a think about it, I think, on the switchback. But just didn't quite have the speed. And they go side by side. And Men's and Massey... come together. They come together. There's contact made between the pair of them. Neither driver giving, no quarter given, and they do.
Blaze is round, contact with Hicklin. They
Blaze
both,
as well.
They went either side of Massey, who was in the middle of the track, and I think Blaze maybe just went in a bit too deep. It didn't look like Hicklin really did much wrong there.
And this has promoted Zach now into 3rd. So Zach, don't count Zach out either, with a couple of laps to go, because he's really pushing now. I said this is probably about the time where the mediums start to be a little bit better than those fresh softs. Tooman at the moment is still in position, I think, to take 3rd off of Leah when that penalty is applied.
Mendes just lost time
Massey
recording
then,
that incident, I think, Harry, and that's allowed Leah. Oh, Leah's made a huge mistake at the final corner.
Jeez, Leah nearly going, and this is going to allow Zach pretty easy passage through. Zach won the first race of the season last time out in season 6. Is he going to do it again? Leah braking very, very late and gets the move done, gets the position back into 1. I think Zach basically needed to get Leah there to have any chance of maybe challenging Men's, but not to beat. Zach, I think, will have P2, but like I say, Leah with that penalty, who knows whether that is going to stand or not. We got the 2 Alpines battling, but only for 11th. Pretty unfortunate after what looked to be really promising qualifying for them. Men's then holds the lead. He's been battling it out since the safety car that came out around lap 17 for the victory, but he's got just over a second gap now. Obviously got a bit of a break after that incident with
Evo's gone.
Massey, and Evo has gone. That incident with Massey, yeah, giving Men's a bit of a break.
Oh, now Lofty's gone as well.
It's not been an easy ride, and they're all over the shop as they were at the start. They're all back at over the place at the end. As Zach, I don't think, is going to quite have enough to challenge Leah into the final corner. It's not to be, but it is to be for Jaylee Menz, who's going to cross the line then to take victory here in Bahrain for the first race of the Division 2 season. It's Zach in P2 with Leah 3rd. Tooman now takes 3rd after Leah's penalty is applied. Massey and Hicklin are going to have a drag race to the line. It's Massey in 5th, Dolphin 6th, James is 7th, Hicklin in 8th, and Lofty comes home 10th as Jack gets a couple of points in P9. Blaze is 11th. It's going to be Evo in P12 with no front wing at the end. And Connor's saying it was two seasons ago. Is that when the first race? Ah, yeah, it was P2. So yeah, there we go. Sorry, I'm getting confused. It's because I'll tell you what it is. Sem wrote piece 2 seasons ago, but the stream was called Season 6 yesterday for Division 1. So I think I was getting confused, thinking everyone else was getting mixed up, but no, it was me. So there you go. But still, P2 last season then. Zach is P2 at the moment this season. Very consistent in the first race of the season. Seems to start off strongly. Start as you mean to go on, as they say. Hicklin got driver of the day from the game. We haven't actually asked for a vote for driver of the day. If maybe people want to get their votes in quickly now, but it's JD Menz then who takes victory on the one-stop strategy. Looks simple on face value, but it definitely wasn't. Zach's Beast comes home P2 with Tooman in 3rd. Leah with that 5-second penalty drops to 4th. I'm going to assume he'll try and get that removed, but who knows. Massey in 5th. Second on the grid, was fighting for, if not in the lead, excuse me, for most of the race. Fortunately, just had a spin at the end there, bit of contact, and that dropped him to 5th. Dolphin comes home 6th as well. Started P4, had a relatively quiet race as far as everyone else went, but you know, came home 6th. Solid points start of the season for Dolphin. James in 7th. Again, another one which it's an interesting one really, because another driver that's kind of found himself down in the order at one point, but he recovered well to take 7th. Hickman as well, one of those caught up in the incident on the first lap, recovered to 8th from 18th on the grid as well, so very strong showing from Hickman. SLR Jack came home 9th, a couple of points for himself and the Alpine team after they failed to score yesterday, so they're off the mark for the season. And Lofty rounds out the top 10. He was as well another one right down the order after the first couple of laps. 16th on the grid to 10th to claim the final point. Got one vote from Dolphin for driver of the day, which is for Lofty, so at the moment it will be Lofty with driver of the day. And we've got the top 3 now, I believe, in the party. So I'll say congratulations to you lot, and I'll hand it over to James for the interviews.
Alright, yep, we'll try and keep these short and sweet, but we'll start off with the 3rd place driver, who was...
Remember to sit your boxes as well.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, Aero Tuman in 3rd, obviously inheriting that position after Leah's penalty, so could be P4, but I mean it's provisionally P3, and a great result, obviously reserving this season, but first race of the season to get a podium is always a solid start, and yeah, P6 to P3, I'm sure you'll be pretty happy with that result.
Yeah, I suppose. I made far too many mistakes for my own liking, but you know, you've got to be there to take advantage of others' misfortune. So I suppose P3 is not a bad start to the season. Credit to Zach and Menz, who drove outstanding races today. Because yeah, I just couldn't live with Zach on the mediums, and Menz obviously had his strategy work out perfectly, extending his medium stint. So yeah, hey, it's the first race of the season. It's very scrappy. I suppose we'll work out what the running order is sort of further into the season. But P3 is not a bad start.
Yeah, well said. Obviously, a podium in the first race is always a good way to start the season. So yeah, congratulations on that. Even despite you not feeling maybe 100% happy with that.
Nah, cheers.
We'll move on to Zach then in P2, and yeah, Tuman, talking of mistakes himself, we obviously saw that massive spin for Zach, and he's managed to recover fantastically to get P2, and I think a guaranteed podium no matter what happens to Leah with that 5-second penalty. So yeah, a podium in the first race of the season from 8th on the grid for yourself, and yeah, fantastic start to your campaign. So if you just wanna run us through how it was from your perspective.
It was quite fun. It's nice to be back on the podium again. It's been a while. But yeah, that race was very hard. It was very good racing from everyone. And yeah, that spin, I don't know how I didn't lose the wheel when I hit that wall, but oh well. I still managed to recover. But yeah.
Yeah, you kind of went under the radar a little bit. We saw you making a pretty nice move on the outside of Leo on one of the safety car restarts, but you were kind of just always there or thereabouts, picking up the pieces off of others' mistakes. Yeah, obviously that spin was quite unfortunate. You lost the position to Menz in the pit lane at the end there as well, but just kept your nose clean and reaped the rewards, I guess, in P2.
Yeah.
Alright then, we'll move on to the race winner. The first race of the season, it's Jaylee Menz from 11th place on the grid. I'm sure you won't mind us saying a pretty unexpected winner from outside the top 10, but made a brilliant call not pitting behind the first safety car, and yeah, getting the safety car late on to go onto the softs, and yeah, you brought home the win in the first race of the season. So yeah, congratulations, mate, and yeah, just tell us about your race.
Yeah, thanks. First podium in SLR, but don't want to celebrate it too much after that late collision with Massey, but we'll see how it goes. Might get a pen, but might still be on the podium.
Yeah,
But-
either way though, I don't think that really should take away from the drive that you had. I mean, collisions happen. You might get a penalty, you might not, but either way, you've provisionally won the race, and it was still a fantastic drive, regardless of how you might be feeling about the ending.
Yeah, it's good to start the season off with this, especially how I ended last season with like 10 races without finishing. Well, 10 races without points. But yeah, I don't want to celebrate it too much.
Right, I think that'll do it for the interviews. And Harry, if you want to just round off the stream for what has been a fantastic season opener for Div 2 and a fantastic second race overall of the third race overall, of course, with F2 of the season. Another race tonight, of course, and McEwen Division for their first race of the season tomorrow as well.
Yeah, so that will do us for Division 2. I mean, I'm gonna have a lie down now because that was chaotic. But don't go anywhere. You got an hour till Division 3. I expect all of you in the stream to be there, unless you're racing. Well, if you're racing, I hope you're there as well. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. We saw Men's take the victory from Zach and Tuman in an absolutely chaotic race, action-packed from start to finish. And I mean, if all the other races are like that, then we're absolutely cracker of a season. But yeah, maybe a few less DNFs and a few more overtakes or something. But yeah, nevertheless, it was a fantastic race. So thank you all for watching. Thank you to everyone for taking part, and well done to those who scored points and on the podium, and Men's as well for the victory. So thank you all, and good night.